Book review, Murder, Most Unladylike. So, this is a fantastic story. My daughter and I are really getting into this series, so we're going to review the first two books. Murder, Most Unladylike is fantastic. It's set in the in 1930s in a school with two girls called Hazel and Daisy, who have a really lovely dynamic friendship there. They bounce off each other really well. They're not the same, they don't always agree, they're quite different, and so that keeps different readers engaged in different ways. It's set in Deep Dean School, and life is a little bit boring for them, and they're trying to be detectives, but nothing is happening and nobody is dying until they find Miss Bell's body, and then they must investigate her death and how it was caused. So I find this a really interesting story. The way that they go into investigating it, the way they work with other pupils and adults is really fascinating. I love this book. I really do think it's a good read. They pretend to be sick to skive off school so that they can do their investigations. So I'm not promoting that because I am a woman who absolutely adores my education. It has served me very well in my life. And so I do think education is absolutely crucial, and skiving school is really, really bad. But this is fiction, and they do that, and they pretend to be sick, go off on their little hunt as to how they're going to solve this mystery. And it's really fascinating that the way that they do it. I love it. Really nice book. There's a bit of a slow burn on a nice romance that blossoms throughout the series, which my daughter can be a little bit annoyed with because she doesn't like romances that take that long to blossom. But I've done that in my series, and in her words, she said it works. You know, that Robin has actually made this work. So although she's not a fan of slow burn romances, she's made it work, which is fantastic. So well done, Robin. It's by Robin Stevens, and Robin has done a wonderful job of making this very inclusive, very LGBTQ plus friendly. Really admire the way she's done that. I've tried to do the same with my own books, and I think she's done a cracking job of achieving that, which I think is really important in this day and age. And yeah, I highly recommend picking up the book and having a good read of it. I'm just going to read an extract from the book. This is part 1, the discovery of the body. So this is the first murder that the Wells and Wong Detective Society has ever investigated. So it is a good thing Daisy bought me a new casebook. The last one was finished after we solved the case of Lavinia's missing tie. The solution to that, of course, was that Clementine stole it in revenge for Lavinia punching her in the stomach during lacrosse, which was Lavinia's revenge for Clementine telling everyone Lavinia came from a broken home. Oops. I suspect that the solution to this new case may be more complex. I suppose I ought to give some explanation of ourselves in honour of the new casebook. Daisy Wells is the president of the Detective Society, and I, Hazel Wong, am its secretary. Daisy says that this makes her Sherlock Holmes and me Watson. This is probably fair. After all, I am much too short to be the heroine of this story. And whoever heard of a Chinese Sherlock Holmes? That's why it's so funny that it was me who found Miss Bell's dead body. In fact, I think Daisy is still upset about it, though of course she pretends not to be. You see, Daisy is a heroine-like person, and so it should be her that these things happen to. Look at Daisy and you think you know exactly the sort of person she is. One of those dainty, absolutely English girls with blue eyes and golden hair, the kind who'll gallop across muddy fields in the rain, clutching hockey sticks, and then sit down and eat 10 iced buns at tea. I, on the other hand, bulge all over like Bibendum the Michelin Man. My cheeks are moony round and my hair and eyes are stubbornly dark brown. I arrived from Hong Kong partway through second form, and even then, when we were all still shrimps for this new casebook, is what we call the little lower form girls. Daisy was already famous throughout Deep Dean School. She rode horses, was part of the lacrosse team, and was a member of the drama society. The big girls took notice of her. And by May, the entire school knew that the head girl herself had called Daisy a good sport. But that is only the outside of Daisy, the jolly good show part that everyone sees. The inside of her is not jolly good show at all. It took me quite a while to discover that. And if you want to read more, you're going to have to pick up the book and do it yourself. So, yeah, highly recommend it. Give it 5 stars, absolutely. Brilliant book. We love it.